Hey guys, David here from RapidQS. So we're just down in Queenstown, Jack's Point today. I actually did my first sort of 4 years in business down here, so it's good to be back. So we're just meeting up with Riki here today from Hunter Construction. He's just finished this brand new spec build here. So I think it was around about $1 million, 1.3 mil for build and land. It's taken them just over a year, so we're going to have a catch up with him, just talk about, you know, cost blowouts, what they did in the house, how long it took, bit about his team, what he's doing, and what he's got coming up. So we're going to have a chat with Riki on this one, and then we're going to go to another project on Queenstown Hill. But enjoy the video. If you know Riki, comment below, let me know, and enjoy. Cheers.
Hey, my name is Riki Hunter from Queenstown here, and just going to show David around one of our recently completed projects.
Nice, bro. Sweet. How long did you, when did you buy this bit of land?
I think it was 2020. I think 2020. I think somewhere around there we got it. Yeah.
Good capital gains on that already, man.
I think
four
so,
or 5 years.
Yes, not bad.
Was it? Is this the first full contract development you've done, or have you done a few?
No, this is my first design and build project. So I've designed it and built it and funded it myself. Yeah.
So prior to that, what have you been doing down in Queenstown?
Mate, we're predominantly residential builder, but we've done like commercial, you know, fit outs and all that sort of stuff as well. So the full suite of construction, I'd say. Yeah,
nice, man. So you've how big's your crew at the moment, and how many sort of jobs do you at one time? So
it does change, but say typically for the last sort of 7 or 8 years, I suppose we've been always about 6 or 8 guys. But at the moment we're down to, I've got 3 guys on site and myself, so 4 of us. Yeah,
easy to manage, eh?
It's good. I just think with the workflow that we've got at the moment, this is just coming to an end. We've got one other project that we've just started. There's a few things in the pipe, and you know, the staff has definitely been a bit of a challenge over the last few years.
It's tough, eh, man? I feel when I was down here, it was easy to get a lot of backpackers, backpacking guys, but getting skilled guys that want to hang around is tough.
It's massively challenging, and I think, I mean, I hate even talking about COVID, but that definitely was the catalyst, I feel, for the staff changes. There was never a problem beforehand, I don't think. And now, you know, with the high inflation and the cost of living and all that sort of stuff, it's not as attractive for those people that you talk about to come here, because it's so expensive. You know?
I mean, shit, man, I think I paid $50 for a taxi just out here this morning. 9Ks down the road, man. So anyway, what was the process in getting this like designed? Who was your architect? How long did it take?
So I worked with a draftsman from Dunedin, actually. So I had the design pretty much already nutted out, like I sort of knew what I wanted to design. I sort of worked with a guy called Jamie Kerr out of Dunedin, and he sort of detailed it and made it, you know, did their special sauce, if you like, to make it work. But as I said, the idea was I wanted to do a large family home here on Hanley on the corner site. That was the other thing that I wanted to do. And then, even though it's a corner site, it's actually kind of a strange shape. So it was, to be fair, it was quite, to get what I wanted, the gross floor area, the architect did a nice job in piecing it together so it actually sat well on the on the land.
Sweet. Let's go for a look around, man, and you just point out anything that was anything that went well, went under budget, over budget. Like, was he pretty good at helping out with like landscaping plan and everything, or was that separate?
No. Well, so that was part of the plan, because you need it for the design and the consent and whatnot. But we've sort of modified it a little bit. I wanted to have this these sort of natives and that to grow out over time. And just have this sort of access off the driveway as opposed to something coming straight off the street. I think it means adds to a little bit of privacy, because these sites are quite
you're kind of
tight. You know what I mean?
You know, I don't want to say you're on top of each other, but you can definitely look out your window and see what's going on.
This part of the area is actually really nice and secluded. I mean, you can see yourself. There's no real action. But if you go a few streets over, it gets a bit more tighter pack.
I've seen it, especially down there where they're doing, is it Jack's?
I mean, there's certain streets where they're really in there quite tight, whereas we're actually quite secluded here. There's a reserve across the street. You know, most of the people that come down here actually live here, so it's not like a thoroughfare.
Sweet.
Bro. So I think it's you know, it makes sense, you know. Like,
I think so.
I think, you know, it's nice and robust, and people you see mountain bikes and things hanging off the walls. And
man, I think it suits the timbery aesthetic down here, instead of just your old standard GJ plaster and paint, man.
No, it definitely adds a level of quality, but it's more practical, right? So you can just screw directly into it and put some shelves up, do whatever you want.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was saying, I like it because you pretty much save $75 a square to 80 on plaster and paint. Yeah. And you can be in and out of your garage in a day.
Well, you know yourself with jib and that, and you just get scuff marks and damage. Dented, So I think you see it around here a lot, hey? I think it's good.
It's pretty common, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. And this is, shoes all good, eh?
Yeah.
Polished concrete through
Polished,
here?
mate. This is a burnished polished finish, eh? Seems, not ground, just sort of a burnished polished finish.
Yeah, that's nice, man.
Yeah.
Do you know the cost difference, what your standard slab and polish down here? Do you have any rough idea? Because obviously I think we usually budget around 160, 180 supply and lay standard.
I actually don't have that square metre.
Nah, that's
I could give you those figures later if you like.
Yeah, it looks fantastic, man.
Yeah, it's come up good, eh?
Who came up with the bathroom style? That's pretty nice.
Me, I suppose.
Yeah, interior designer, Riki?
Yeah, it was basically like those tiles, great. Because I think, I probably, to be honest with you, mate, I would have actually spent more time and trying to design the bathroom, but I just don't like being bamboozled with
too many
choice.
Options. So man, I think there's too many. You could lose so many hours in bathrooms, man.
Well, we sort of did one run where we grabbed some tile samples, right, and brought them here, and then Nell, my wife, who you met before, suddenly they're like, oh, we need to try this, and I was like, nah,
man,
that one and those ones, they'll be fine.
You have to, bro, otherwise you'd lose hours.
That's
in the day,
it, yeah.
Yeah, man, I like the style, oak vanity, little wall hung. That's cool, man. And this is cool, man. Is that a wallpaper?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Little details like that is just you're beating group homes,
Yeah. So, No, we want it to be a bit different, eh?
I like that. That's cool, man. Yeah, bro. So what's the 4 bedrooms?
4 bedroom.
Yeah. 242. You said?
Yeah, just under 250 square meters.
Yeah, nice. This is good. Oh yeah, man. This is the mecca here.
Well, as I said to you before, the part of the design, I wanted to have this sort of living area, if you like.
Yeah.
Open plan with a sort of a media room / kids room out in here.
Yeah, cool, man.
And then the rooms needed to be there 2-story, but then I just, we just put a link in the middle there. That's where that entryway is.
Is that pre-cut? No, this is wallpaper, eh?
Yeah. Oh, no, sorry. This here is Porter's. This is French wash paint.
Oh,
so this is a paint effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same as this here?
Yeah. That's a sort of a bespoke sort of French wash thing. That's one of Nell's things.
It almost looks like precast concrete.
Yeah.
It looks like final finished concrete.
Yeah. No, there's heaps of quirky little stuff like that in here.
Yeah, it's good, man. Hey, just that, if you know, what was this kitchen cost, ballpark?
Around 55, I think.
Appliances but included?
No,
just cabinetry?
Yeah. So appliances, I think, was somewhere around about 20, 25.
Man.
Miele, I wanted to use the Miele.
Yeah, it's pretty up spec, man.
Yeah.
So you're about 75 total in here?
Probably, yeah. And that's including pantry and laundry as well.
Oh, okay, all your joinery as well. Yeah, sweet, man. And then what do we got here? A little study and
this is the kids, kind of the
nice
media room.
This is good, bro.
Yeah,
I like this.
So obviously blackout curtains and things like that. TV would go over there.
Yeah.
Nice. Again, sort of got one thing you'll know about this place is plenty of effects, paints, and different sort of touches.
It's got like a real this place has got like a dark, sleek feel.
Yeah, well, because Nell's a painter. And we had we wanted to flex a little bit of our design flair. Normally as a builder, you're just building to what the client wants, which is fine. Yeah. But you never really get an opportunity to
do anything a little bit outrageous.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think, but that isn't, we were talking about that before. That's every builder's dream, man.
Yeah.
You want to get to the point where you're building your own stuff. No client.
It's you'll see here, all the skirtings and arcs are this dark color. Yeah. Which typically you'd be like, we just did that on the fly because they were white, they didn't seem right. I just said, let's just flick a bit of black paint up there.
And it looked good.
And you're like, yeah, that's it. Most people don't really have that
Man.
opportunity. Yeah.
Nah, it's cool. But I'd be interested, I haven't been in any of the other group home pads around here, but I'm assuming they're all the standard GJ classic spec, nothing.
Typically it's a white paint finish and that makes a lot of sense, right? One thing I know about this paint scheme, if you like, there's no way I'm not a trained designer anyway, but there's no way you could have come up with that on the plan.
No way.
So when you're building a house, you just need to get it done, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
To be honest, we probably spent bloody 12 weeks painting this place. You know what I mean? When typically you would spend a couple of weeks.
I was going to say a month tops by the time you prep, you know. So,
yeah. So,
what was your labour time spent on here? Do you have a rough time frame?
To be honest, I don't. But because I got the build company, so I typically would have 1 or 2 guys on here, sort of semi full time, just ticking away.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, when it's go time, like frames and trusses, you know, we throw a bit more at it.
Yeah.
Once I finally get this place completed and sold, plan is to go on a bit of a holiday and do some detailed back costing on all of that, because
it's interesting. I try and say that it's obviously hard. We do a lot of pre-estimation, pre-build. It's very hard to get a real good gauge on, hey, where did we actually go over or under?
Yeah, that's right.
It's always interesting to know.
So I've just been going with it at the moment, you know what I mean? We're sort of, obviously with the, you know, my estimates at the start and pricing and all that, we've sort of, I stayed on top of all that, but you know, as you get to the end of the project, you just want to get it done.
I know,
you know
bro.
I mean?
You're not watching every single.
You know what I mean?
But
Just got to get it done. So it's going to be really cool to go away and actually do a nice detailed cost analysis and really see how we wash out.
What did you guys sub out? What portion of this did you sub out? Like, did you do insulation, jib fix, everything? Or
No. So to be honest, when I was talking before about the feasibility and that of the site, like I had a pretty detailed budget. And you know, to your point about the jib fixing, like I'd much rather use the professionals. Like we do jib fixing, but
of course you do.
We take twice as long. We're nowhere near as tidy or clean. And the guys that we got are top of the line. So
you would from just to give people an understanding of carpentry sub out, you would have subbed out all your concrete placing, insulation.
Sorry?
Insulation?
No, we did that.
You did insulation. So then jib fixing out, joinery comes in, someone does all the joinery. So you just frame, come in and do finishings, doors, skirts, arcs. It's I still know a lot of people that still sub out jib fixing purely on that perspective of you can save like 2 weeks.
It's a false economy. It's a false economy. And you know, you've got like, you know, builders, we don't typically do it, and then you've got 4 guys on a ladder trying to do a 6 meter sheet. Whereas these guys come in, there's 2 of them, you know, they just hook it up, boom, boom, boom. You know, so
your hourly rate at $80 each on a sheet, bro.
I don't like, to be honest, that's my mindset, my philosophy. Rather than trying to do everything ourselves, just get the good guys in to do it.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, it just saves time and hassle, doesn't it? So, nice, bro. Big walk-in scullery.
Yep, plenty of storage in here, eh?
Man, so that's part of that part of that joinery pack, eh?
Yep.
Cool, man. Nice. Yeah. Happy if your wife loves cooking, man, she'll love all this space.
Oh, well, you know yourself, man, there's a lot of equipment that goes into kitchens and things like that, and you're normally shoving it in cupboards and drawers and that, so.
Nice. Shit, they're quite heavy, eh? Oof, it's a big fridge. Yeah, no wonder your appliances was 20k. That's probably 5 on its own.
Well, so.
Mean, bro. Yeah. Cool. Take us upstairs, man. That's pretty cool. Was that the old designer's detail? This one's pretty sick.
Nah, so I actually wanted this mono stringer because I just thought, I actually don't know what he would have designed here, but I like the mono stringer, and I think cool. It keeps that sort of, but he came up with this, these timber balusters and that, which I think are pretty cool. That's actually a Bodo.
Oh, yeah.
So everything, all the timber that you see, aside from these treads and handrail are a Bodo. This is ash.
Yeah, this is cool, man. Ash. Any idea what this cost, just out of interest?
See, stringer, I think, was somewhere around about 10. The treads were a bit over 10 as well. Initially, I was thinking of oak, but then when they said it was going to be twice that, I decided no.
Shit.
So, but ash looks good.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
And these are balusters, probably $2 or $3 grand, I think.
Yeah, man.
Bit of powder coated steel. And
so that fully came pre-made?
What's that?
Whole stair section, or did you guys build and install separately?
Yeah, so the stringer obviously came separate, and then we installed the treads, and obviously his balusters and things like that.
Yeah, so. That's cool. How, like roughly 2 days to build out the stairs, 2 to 3?
No, a bit longer actually. Yeah. That ash, because obviously you needed it to be quite good. So it took it. Yeah, maybe 3 days, something like that. Yeah.
No, that's cool, bro. Walk us through up here, bro. This is quite
so we've got a bit of a little
study area.
Yeah, office sort of look, I suppose. Just basically a toilet for upstairs here. And
so all living upstairs, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice, bro.
And there's 1 bedroom downstairs.
Oh, 1 bed down.
And the thought behind that was a guest room because you know yourself, like living in Queenstown, you're always getting visitors. And
everyone's coming to visit.
And then sometimes you get visitors and they want to do their own thing, right? Yeah. So I thought, put it down there, they can sneak in and out. There's a slider in that. And then, the full-time family are sort of up here, not being disturbed.
That's cool. Man, that's good.
So there's 2 rooms here.
Yeah.
Good views of Coronet Peak there.
Yeah, that's beautiful, bro. That'll sell. Add an extra 100 grand on there.
Oh, maybe.
Was there anything when you designed and then you were doing the build, obviously you were quite heavy in the design, you were like, oh fuck, I would have changed that, should have done this. Anything that you kind of...
Dude, there's in that pantry.
It's all,
in that pantry down there, I didn't put a sink in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Move the dishes out, or like
I would have put the dishwasher in there.
Yeah, true.
And so we did the drainage. I think I'd said to you I was in Australia at the time. And then I got back and I was like, oh, but
true.
You know, I would have put the dish. But that's, you learn these things.
I know,
right?
but that's I've never even thought about that. I suppose when you're, do your dinner, everyone's chilling out in the family room, and then you got the fucking dishwasher going.
That's what I mean. You don't have to it's not a sightly.
Yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind. So anyway, so there's that. As I said, I probably would have because I'm not a designer. I've seen there's some, you're always looking at other designs and that, and I think next time, if the budget allows, I'd like to get a proper interior designer, like because they just do epic stuff.
They do cool, but I feel like, it's hard to know, you and your partner, if you guys had no real interior design flair, this is pretty cool, pretty out there.
I think the difference is that, with like I saw one, there's a company in Wanaka, that Melanie Craig, and man, compared to what we've, I know it's a higher value, but you're like, wow, I would not have even thought of that, like the colours and the way they. So because I've got some experience of doing it now, I know that you can see the value. Yeah,
and you can actually compare yourself. Yeah. Versus when I first started and I doing QSing, I was like, I suppose I was always doing it, but then I saw a full QS report and I'm like, holy shit, I'm miles behind.
Yeah, that's right.
But then your benchmark. You're like, oh, cool, now I can learn off
that's
something.
That's right, 100%. So
good, man.
That's probably about it.
Sweet.
I think.
That's not bad, bro. It's not too bad problems, so good stuff. So I suppose we just got master left up here.
Master.
Second bedroom. Yeah, masters are good, bro. I'm an ensuite guy, eh?
All right.
Fancier ensuite, the better.
So, sort of walk-in wardrobe. There's a bit of you, Dave.
That's slick, bro. You'll catch me in a robe, bro. That's why I always stay at the Hilton, man. You get slippers and robes. This is cool, bro.
So you got a, this is you sort of got your mirror there, I suppose.
Oh yeah, little dresser.
Yeah, and that's got some drawers and stuff.
Do some press-ups, check yourself out afterwards.
Yeah, that's the one.
Nice, bro.
So.
Yep, so that full joinery, this is all included in that pack, eh?
That was actually from a separate supplier. And so I think we probably got a bit of a deal on that, but we're about 12 grand for all of that.
Nice.
So,
and all local Queenstown companies?
Yes.
And some Wanaka, obviously?
And Cromwell,
Cromwell, okay, cool.
But mostly local. I'd say local.
This is nice, bro. I literally priced one of these last night. A guy wanted a half-height timber headboard wall. Yeah. And I put a PC sum of about $1,100. This is sick, man.
That'll do it. Yeah. This was basically just, obviously, don't want to sound crass, but leftover cladding, right? And it's just good, it's a Bodo again, so nice. It's not cheap. So I thought I'd put it to good use on this here.
Probably better than putting it in a skip bin down there.
Yeah, you're onto it.
That's good, man.
And so nice. It's I think it come up right.
Nah, it looks good, bro.
Actually, another thing about would you do anything differently? I probably wouldn't put these raking windows in ever again, because I didn't realise that you can't dress these things, or it's a real super niggle to do it.
True.
Yeah,
and these would have been niggly off a bloody top story.
The window itself's fine. It's just when we start talking to the curtain suppliers, they're like, "Oh, no, we can't do that."
So it's all custom.
Yeah, so you need for a what do you call it? Shutter system. Yeah.
I mean, those are little things where it's probably not $700 a curtain; it's $2,000 now.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think the shutter was like something like $8 grand plus.
$8 grand.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it on this, though, eh?
I'd probably leave it for
the next guy. Yeah, bro. Bathroom. I like that. Excuse me, friend. That's sick.
So she's pretty dark in here. But
same tile style, same vanity. Pick it once, do it. Nice, bro.
The reason I like those tiles there is because you get a bit of water on them, and it's sort of nice effect, I suppose.
Kind of falls off. Yeah, I love that. Eh?
And obviously we just went dark. I mean, I don't know if that's the in thing or not, but to us we liked it, and it just seemed to be a common. It just became that theme. Yeah, we hadn't had that theme of dark. It just let's just try that.
Yeah, dark's good, man. I quite like it.
And I think if you know much about painting and design, it's quite tricky to paint. Like the black ceilings and that are pretty. difficult to do without getting marks and things on there.
So the missus did all this?
Yep.
Looks good, bro.
And one of her other...
Dream team, bro. That's a team saving, eh?
I mean, this is some sort of bespoke sort of finish. Oh, one thing I should say, all the rooms in that have their own heating unit as well.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool. Was it? What was the hardest subby to find down here in Queenstown?
Roofer, although I did end up getting a good contact for roofer and he was fantastic. But yeah, roofers are typically quite hard to come by. Yeah. Good ones.
Yeah. I think when I was helping out with the big house in Gibson Valley from Ryland, we ended up getting a crew from Invercargill. Yeah. And they were like 15k cheaper. Yeah. But it was a 650.
There's a lot of that. Yeah. But I tend to, you know yourself, like your subcontractors that are effectively your team, right?
Oh man.
And it's you've got to have a sort of a synergy and so that's your value at the end of the day as a builder, I think. Yeah.
Did you have any subbies that, I mean, you must get, I don't know if you use the same ones all the time, but guys throwing out wild quotes? Or pretty good with your ones?
Pretty good here. Yeah. And the wild quote thing is typically if they're busy in that,
or if they don't like you.
Yeah,
sweet.
But I typically use the same guys. Some come and go, don't they, over time, but you generally get a good relationship going and they're more responsive. That's the main thing, getting to site.
Yeah, bro. It's all in good saying a quote. But
that's right.
We turn it up Monday, or
but that's what I'm saying. I think the thing that where builders have that that extra value is that. Yeah. You get a client that goes, and they'll go out and tender out a whole bunch of stuff, and I've got this guy and this guy and this guy because they're all cheap, but cobble it together I'll make. It can be quite bad, I think.
Yeah, I've just come to the realization of going from giving my builder in Wanganui labour only to full contract, and I'm like, it's not worth me trying to shaft him 20% for all the extra running around he does. And to be fair, he's done 2 jobs, but now I'm like, man, full contract for you. Like, it's just...
That's how I see it as well, right? Like, that's to your point about what do we sub out. Like, if there's someone I know that can do a better job and turn up, okay, it's going to cost me more, but what sort of headaches is it going to save me? You know what I mean?
Take away that stress.
Totally.
Man. Yeah. So what was your, if you're open to talking about it, what was your land purchase? What was kind of your cost to build roughly on this? And anything that springs to mind that was like a massive blowout, or anything that you thought, fuck, we didn't expect that to cost that?
Well, land costs sound cheap now, but at the time it was expensive. So 45,000.
I mean, now you're 600-700 minimum now.
I think comparable sites somewhere around 730. It's kind of bonkers.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
People that are sort of telling me they're buying for them, I'm sort of telling them like, man, have a think about that.
Yeah, because
that's getting up there, eh?
Yeah, and you got to build.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So and then build costs. I think we were just tipped over $1 million.
Yeah. Okay.
As I said, I don't know the exact figures.
No, that's all good.
But that's my raw cost as well. So
I think we were obviously discussing round about 4.2-4.5 to build a square meter. Yeah. I think all our estimates we're doing in Queenstown are 5 to 5.5. Yeah. 5.7 on the upper. So
definitely.
Yeah, that's kind of what the builder would be putting on as a margin to build for a client. So it works out about right.
So obviously I haven't charged for any project management or anything like that either. So I mean, no P&G or anything like that. It's not included in those costs. It's just labour and materials basically.
Yeah, it's a big saving there as well.
Yeah, most of the subbies in that I think we did charge up as well. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, save a bit of money because again we're sort of teammates, aren't we? You know what I mean? Sure. So do a solid and
I think if you, I don't know, on Instagram and TikTok, I push guys a lot to go for fixed price, but I think there is a lot of merit if you do have a team of subbies that you can rely on charge up, because at the end of the day you do get a bit cheaper. But as long as the subbie's been transparent to you, they're not going to rip you. They know they're going to get paid on time, and they probably know they're going to get the next job.
And you know yourself. I mean, that all just comes back to the risk, right? Like who's on the hook. So, a little bit less risk on the charge up scenario, then it's a bit. That's really what it comes down to. I trust all these guys. They're like I said, they're my team. So. For sure. We have a good open transparent relationship.
No, good man. It's beautiful spot, this one. So what do you reckon, who's looking at selling and what have they recommended lead time to sell?
So we're selling through White Fox.
Yeah.
Who are brilliant actually. So Kate and Michelle. They're Australian company, but they've got the New Zealand thing here. And
did you approach them? They approached you?
It's funny actually, like I had been looking at White Fox just because I'd seen them online. They've got a big, heavy Instagram presence. And
they're pretty good, man.
There's some developers in Australia that I was telling you about that I really look up to, and they work with them. And then I actually was talking to my Hilti rep, and he mentioned about the White Fox guys, and so yeah, that's
These
how we
ones
did
here,
it.
White Fox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
Shout out White Fox, man. Get him on the podcast next.
So they've been fantastic, and just mean operators. Like I said, there's a bit more new school.
Yeah, marketing.
With the marketing and that. I really like that.
Yeah.
And because this is my first property, and hope to do more. Obviously.
Yeah.
Want to sort of create that relationship with. These guys can sort of tell that story, and they make it look really cool, So
yeah, and I mean, if they can get you to a wider, I mean, I'm always interested by real estate agents, man, because I'm like, if I go on Trade Me and I want to buy something, if I see it and I want it, I find it doesn't matter if that real estate agent's good or shit. I'm just like, I'm putting an offer in on this, give it to me, But if these guys can help you sell it 3 months quicker, that's 3 months of interest.
I'll tell you what, when the initial meeting, so Kate actually called me. Like I think I said, my Hilti rep sort of mentioned them.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll reach out to them, because I'd already sort of been looking at them anyway. But she just called, straight away. Yeah. We met up. She came and looked around. She was into it, and
Easy.
then then she came back with an appraisal a couple of a week or so later.
Yeah, fast,
which was right on the button of what my estimate was, and super easy to deal with, and they are psyched. You know what I mean? So can't help that, eh?
Yeah, it's different. Everyone's different, bro. Customer service, and I think just attitude as well. So
they get what I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
and that's the cool thing that I liked about it. Not just looking for a sale, there's
for sure.
something a bit more going on.
No, that's cool, bro. It looks good. And who picked out all the lights and bloody paint? Are the paintings going with the house, or is that?
No, that's part of the staging package.
Staging, cool. Yeah. Cool, nice, bro.
Oh, this is the guest room down here.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, have a jump in that guest room, bro. So just the 4th bedroom.
Another feature wall.
Another feature wall, bro.
Or feature
4
paint,
rooms,
if you
4
like.
features.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And then just little private deck access here.
Yeah.
Oh, is that composite you're going on there?
Yeah, I like it. I prefer it.
Nice.
That's future wood.
Beauty. Oh, it's the old clip system. Screw on the perimeter.
Yeah, but
nice,
that's
bro.
A good. Out of the composites, I prefer it over timber decking now, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give your pros and cons. Why? Everyone's open to it.
Well, there's no maintenance after the fact. You know what I mean? I like the hidden, the hidden fixing.
Hidden fixing.
They come with the decking as well.
Yeah.
So you don't get that extra expensive, stainless fixing.
Do you reckon labour time about the same? Ballpark?
The only downside I'll say about this that I think is that it's pretty hard on your blades, saw blades. And the other thing about this stuff, it expands and contracts like wild.
Yeah.
So you pretty much lay your boards, and then you would definitely not cut them in this weather, especially one at a time. So all these cuts we always do with the Festool.
Yeah. So
in the morning.
Did you just run it long over and then one slide rail, cut one?
Yeah. Do that,
sweet.
because honestly, this stuff it's all cramped together super tight when you install it, so it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
But if you were to cut it individually, this would be in and out like, all over the place. So
yeah, cool, man.
But it's definitely good. Stuff.
That's good, bro. Low maintenance. Did you guys have a discussion around pebble, gravel, and grass?
Yeah. Again, so we didn't really know who's going to purchase this, right?
Yeah.
And I just took it from my own thinking, I suppose, that I love a good lawn, but I can't be asked dealing it. Someone might buy this as a holiday home.
Yeah, true.
So when you see the landscaping, like all the plants and everything outside there, like carrots and natives and things like this that don't really require much weeding and things like that. So
low maintenance.
And you can still add stuff to this after the fact, to make it look a bit more like a garden or whatever.
Bro. You could carry on that retaining plant box wall down here and plant and stuff.
Yeah, you can do whatever you like, you know what I mean? But I just thought, well, last thing you want people coming through the house and thinking, oh God, I need to look and mow this and look after this and
nightmare, eh?
Yeah.
Nah, cool, man. That's good. Yeah, this place is looks good, bro. So do you reckon this will be, if you found another section, you'd do similar style again?
It depends, really. I think what I'd really like to do now is sort of get a more elevated site. Like if we can, obviously the budget allows. I want to do more elevated construction. I think you could probably add another $1 million to the sale price.
Bro, it's outrageous when you do like that.
And then I'd probably look to do like a 2-unit capable sort of site would be optimal.
Yeah, sweet.
A nice sort of lock and leave maybe, or I mean, even anyone could live there.
Yeah, for sure.
That's sort of what I'm thinking at the moment. But
good.
We'll see what comes about. Like there's always plenty of opportunities.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about Queenstown. There's so many epic locations. You've got Calvin Heights, Queenstown Hill. You've got you know, some of the more rural areas.
But then what's that one? Bannockburn's crazy, man. I went there.
Bannockburn's awesome.
Bannockburn's so cool, man.
Yeah.
Feels like you're way out in the sticks.
Oh, it's awesome. I had a cousin that lived out there years ago, and we'd go out there on occasion, and I love the landscape out there. It's unreal, eh?
Yeah, it's nice, bro.
Yeah.
Ah, good, man. That's awesome. So we'll head up to the other one in Queenstown Hill, have a little look there. That's a new one about to start?
So, we're under construction there.
Oh,
so we've done the ground level foundations and backfilled the garage, and
Sweet.
We've just done the cut for the retaining walls, and so I can talk you through that anyway.
Let's go have a look there, eh?
Yep.
Sweet as. Cheers, bro.